But anyway, all right. Good evening and welcome everyone to the June 2nd, 2021 Contra Costa Transportation Authority Planning Committee meeting. I'm looking here. I'm convening the meeting. Let's call the roll and then we'll have the tape.
Okay. Commissioner Hudson? He is not here yet. Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Present.
Vice Chair Haskew?
Here.
Chair Mitchell?
Here. Thank you. Can we roll the tape on our meeting things?
Due to COVID-19, this meeting will be conducted as a Zoom meeting pursuant to the provisions of the Governor's Executive Order N-2920, which suspends certain requirements of the Brown Act. This meeting is being live streamed on the CCTA website. The chair will call upon members, staff, and other speakers by name. Please speak clearly and state your name before giving comments or remarks. Persons participating via Zoom with their cameras enabled are reminded that their activities are visible to viewers. Members participating by Zoom wishing to speak should physically raise their hand and unmute their mic when called upon. Members should remute their mics when done speaking. Citizens participating by Zoom wishing to speak should use the Raise Hand feature or dial *9 if participating via phone, and the chair or staff will call upon them at the appropriate time. Citizens will have 3 minutes to speak. A 30-second warning will be provided. After 3 minutes, staff will lower their hand and mute their mic. Participants via phone will be called upon by the last 4 digits of their phone number. It is requested that public speakers state their names and organization, but providing such information is voluntary. Written public comments received in accordance with the COVID-19 Special Notice for Public Comment Guidelines are printed on the meeting agenda. If authors of the written correspondence would like to speak, they should raise their hand and the chair will call upon them at the appropriate time. All written correspondence received after that and during the meeting will be entered into the record. A roll call vote will be taken for all action items. Thank you for participating in a meeting of the Contra Costa Transportation Authority.
Thank you. And at this time, I'm going to call for public comment on any item not on tonight's agenda. We will have opportunity for public comment on agendized items. Ms. Grover, is there anyone who wishes to address us on non-agenda items under public comment?
I have not received any public comment.
Thank you. We will then move to our consent calendar. I do understand we do have we have received information that there are individuals who wish to address us on item C. So I am going to pull item C from the consent calendar. Do my colleagues have anything they want to say on item A, which is our planning committee minutes from last month, or the City of Concord calendar years 2018 and 2019? If not, Terry Ann?
Chair Mitchell, the item is 3B. It's the Concord checklist.
Oh, I thought it was 3C, the Moraga.
No, it's 3B.
Oh, all right. Well, then we'll pull 3B. And Mr. Hale, I thought you said it was going to be about the issue with Moraga, and it's not about Moraga?
That's on the regular agenda item.
No, that's item C. The recommendations relative to okay, so there's more.
For
4B. Okay, I get you. So okay. Thank you, Terry Ann. We're going to pull item 3B. So item 3A and 3C will remain on the consent calendar. Do we have any public comment relative to either of those items?
No, we have not received any public comment.
All right. May I have a motion to approve the consent calendar for items 3A and 3C?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. And Ms. Haskew, I think you will. I'm going to go to first names. I try to be respectful, but I know you don't. We all are buds. So Chris is moving and Luella's seconding. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hudson is still absent. Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Vice Chair Haskew,
Yes.
Chair Mitchell.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously with Commissioner Hudson absent.
All right, let us go to item 3B, which is the City of Concord, the approval of the calendar years 2018 and 2019. Staff, did you have anything to say before we go to public comment?
Yes, I did receive written public comment from Bruce Olson, and I'm going to go ahead and read it.
Yes, please.
And this was a carryover from the Citizens Advisory Committee, in which he didn't get to address the committee. So we're forwarding it now to the Planning Committee, and did inform him and invite him to attend this evening, or that we would read this in his absence. So his statement is, existing transportation corridors are pretty much fixed and pretty much built out. As a culture and as a society, we need to share the space on our streets. The worst thing that we as people have ever done is to build our cities around the single occupant vehicle as the principal mode of short distance transportation within our city limits. In the 21st century, we must share the space of our streets more equitably among all modes, not just dedicate our streets to the status quo of cars, and more cars. To encourage bicycle use and to discourage car use, we need to make it less convenient and more expensive to drive, and safer and easier to bike and walk. Unfortunately, this checklist is not leading us in the correct direction. Bicycling and walking is the future. Electric bikes are on the horizon and will arrive by storm. Electric scooters are close behind. We all of our communities, not just Concord, need to prepare for what will be an onslaught. Routes of regional importance for people driving cars are routes of regional importance for people using other modes of transportation too. We need to add connected bicycle and pedestrian scooter facilities along and upon all routes of regional importance. The range of an electric bike approaches 90 miles at up to 30 miles per hour. This is not just another bicycle. This is the family's second car. For many Generation Z individuals and families, an electric bike or scooter is the only car. We need to pay particular attention to getting pedestrians and bicyclists across barriers to passage. These barriers include freeways, canals, creeks and flood channels, railroad tracks, and BART tracks. Currently, several barriers in or near Concord need to be crossed when moving out of the Todos Santos Plaza downtown area. A, getting bicycles and pedestrians safely from the downtown to points north and south in the Willow Pass Road corridor. This could be easily done with a ped bike bridge at the west end of Franquette Avenue across the Walnut Creek flood channel. And then attention paid to the connecting Iron Horse Trail to the widened sidewalk under Interstate 680 on the north side of Willow Pass Road. Bike lanes along the entire length of the Monument Boulevard, including going under I-680 and all the way to Contra Costa Boulevard. A continuous bike lane on both sides of Clayton Road all the way to the town of Clayton. Bike lanes on both sides of Kirker Pass Road connecting Clayton Road to Pittsburgh, and Concord should encourage the connection of the Iron Horse Regional Trail across the Interstate 680 Highway 4 interchange project to the Canal Regional Trail. Both of these trails go through Concord, but the interchange is located only near Concord. Particular attention should be paid to getting bicycles off the 8-lane Highway 4 between the Willow Pass Road and Port Chicago Highway interchanges. Because of the placement of the hills and the existence of MOTCO, the weapon station, this route, the freeway, is currently the easiest, safest way from East County to Central County. Alas, the Delta De Anza Regional Trail ends abruptly on the corner of Evora Road and Willow Pass Road. The direct route to downtown Concord, Willow Pass Road, is not an option for the bicyclists because of the World War II era, short sight distance, near death trap, bridge dedicated de facto exclusively to automobiles. The bottom line is that although many a motorist's patience is not unlimited, we need to connect the existing separate pieces of bike lanes and paths into a connected, protected, welcoming network that provides space for non-single occupant automobile modes of transportation. Not only Concord, but all entities, CCTA, the county, East Bay Regional Park District, and the cities of Contra Costa need to cooperate with each other and every one of the preceding points. Thank you to the committee members and staff for accepting my input.
Thank you.
Yep.
It seems to me that this is an issue more addressed with the city of Concord than with CCTA. Am I all righty? With that, do my colleagues have any comments or questions relative to that?
And I just want to note, Chair, that Concord staff is in the meeting tonight.
And thank you for Concord for being here. I don't think we have any questions. May I have a motion, please? Mr. Holland or Mr. White, would you like to move this item?
So moved.
Thank you. And we're limited again. I'm going to have Chris do the second. Thank you very
I'll
much.
second that. Thank you.
And I assume there's no other public comment, Terry Ann? All right, roll call, please.
I do not see any hands being raised. We'll go ahead and conduct the roll call.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Commissioner Hudson is still absent. Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Vice Chair Haskew, Chair Mitchell.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously with Hudson absent.
thank you. Moving on to item 4A, which is the Growth Management Program, approval of the compliance checklist. And staff recommends that we approve the checklist report and authorization to contact the remaining jurisdictions. Now I have to scroll. Who is taking this? Which of our staff? Mr. Kelly, is this you?
That would be me, Chair Mitchoff. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Just a quick update. As of press time a couple of weeks ago, 7 jurisdictions had yet to submit their calendar year 18-19 Measure J Growth Management Program checklist. As you may know, they are all due by June 30th. So for those 7 jurisdictions, I've been busy trying to contact them ahead of this meeting to make sure they were aware, 1, that this was happening, and 2, that they knew about the deadline. I've made contact with all of them. There is only one city that's told me they won't have their checklist approved by the 30th, but they have submitted a draft already. So we're gonna, count that as a statement of progress. That's what if they don't submit a checklist, they have to submit a statement of progress by June 30th.
And
So
I'm assuming it's just an issue of timing and getting it to their council.
a backlog getting to council, yes.
And the other 6 have said they will have it to us by then.
They are working on it now and getting it to council. So I'm gonna,
Understanding we're in COVID or coming out of COVID, I'm assuming that is the reason.
new staff, small staffs, things like that, yes.
And I'm sure it's none of the cities represented here at the planning committee.
Of course not.
Of course not. That's good. All right. So with that, is there any public comment, Terry Ann?
I have not received any written public comment.
Do I have any questions or comments by any of my board members? Seeing none, I think it might be Ms. Haskew's turn to move the item. Would you agree?
Absolutely agree.
And I'm going to let Mr. White take the second on this one.
I'll second that.
Thank you so much. Roll call, please.
Hey, Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Vice Chair Haskew,
Yes.
Chair Mitchell.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously with Hudson absent.
thank you. Now moving on to item 4B, which is the City of Lafayette, the approval of the proposed amended La Miranda Action Plan. Tim, are you taking this one? Kicking it off, or who's kicking this one off?
John Hong, our Director of Planning, will be taking this one.
Okay, hi, John. Go ahead,
Hi,
please.
Chairman Schaaf. John Huang, Director of Planning. For this item, I'll provide a brief report that summarizes the staff report. What staff is seeking from the planning committees tonight is for the committee's approval to forward the proposed amended La Miranda Action Plan to the full authority board for approval. The authority received a letter from the Southwest Area Transportation Committee, the SWAT, requesting that the authority board approve an amendment to the La Miranda Action Plan. The plan was last updated in 2017 in conjunction with the update of the CTP. The amendment was requested by the City of Lafayette through the La Miranda Program Management Committee, the LPMC, and the amendment was supported by the SWAT as well as vetted through the 3 RTPCs, Transpac, Transplan, and WICTAC. The proposed amended language recommended by SWAT is shown in the staff report on page 4.B-2, sheet 74, if you have the PDF. The specific language in the proposed amendment would allow essentially the addition of a short link segment that included multimodal transportation options. 2 points to consider: the amended language would enable for the construction of a short link travel lane on Pleasant Hill Road in a southbound direction beginning north of Deer Hill Road and terminates at the State Route 24 westbound on-ramp. This segment is referred to as the trap lane. The second point of note is that this request stems from the City of Lafayette's approval of the Terraces Lafayette project, which allows for the development to be constructed either with or without the added short lane, trap lane. Per the authority's growth management program, we established a process on how the updates and amendments of the action plans are made. Pertaining to this request, the process of updating, in this case amending the LPMC action plan, was followed in accordance with the GMP implementation guide, including circulation to the RTPCs. The process is shown on attachment G. With that, staff is seeking approval to forward the proposed amendment as recommended by SWAT to the authority board for approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee members, any questions or comments to John? John, I do have a question then. Just for my own edification, the gateway constraint policy, is that a CCTA policy or Caltrans policy?
It's developed by the La Miranda action plan, and it folds into the ultimately to the CTP.
Okay, and that's fine. So it's geographic specific. That's fine. All right. My committee members didn't have any questions or comments, so we will go to public comment. Terry Ann, do we have public comment on this?
We have not received any written public comment. If you'd like to make public comment, please raise your hand. I don't see any hands raised.
Thank you. And Tim, I just want to make sure I'm understanding this. You had raised, okay, so the action is to approve, I'm going back up here, approve the proposed amended land LAP, whatever, I forget what that stands for, as recommended by the Southwest Transportation Committee. So with that, and no public comment, may we, oh, Chris, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve the proposed amended La Miranda action plan as recommended by the Southwest Area Transportation Committee.
And I'm going to second it, even though I'm the chair, because pre-COVID, I traveled that almost 2 to 3 times a week going to San Francisco. And I think it's an excellent idea. And so with that, moved by Kelly, seconded by Mitchoff. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Vice Chair Haskew,
Yes.
Chair Mitchoff.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously with Hudson absent.
great. Thank you so much. Moving on to item 5, we don't have any correspondence or communications. Number 6, commissioner and staff reports. I have nothing to report. Do any of my colleagues have anything to report? Shaking of heads. Mr. Hale, do we have any executive staff comments?
None tonight, Madam Chair.
Okay, wow, that was great. Then we are adjourned to our next meeting on July 7th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Good
Thank you.
night.
Bye.